Hello, guys and gals, lords and ladies, saints and sinners of every kind. Welcome to Rise Up Jerusalem, your Catholic podcast for teens. I'm your host, Connor McLaughlin, and this week, honestly, I didn't know what to talk about until, right now. I had been thinking, what do I talk about? I couldn't think of anything. I wanted to do something on the saints, but, I couldn't figure it out. What saint to do, or, what saint to talk about, because the saints are all so awesome. I just love them all. But then I looked over at my bookshelf, trying to figure out, looking at saint books and figuring out, and I stopped on this awesome book. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. It's called The Song of Bernadette by Franz Werfel. Franz Werfel was a Jewish writer who was in Lourdes while trying to escape to Portugal after France fell. Those who took him in told him the story of Bernadette and Lourdes and the grotto, and he vowed that if he was able to escape the Nazis, he would write the story of Bernadette. And as soon as he got to the United States, that's the first thing he did. And it, oh my gosh, is a fantastic book if you have not read The Song of Bernadette by Franz Werfel. It's really interesting because it doesn't just talk about Saint Bernadette as a saint. It really talks about her as a person. It talks about how she was very sickly as a child. It talks about her father's position in the town. It talks about her poor catechesis. It talks about, just the everyday stuff. It talks about her health, not like many other saint books and books about Saint Bernadette in particular say, and make it a very much, she was very sickly, but that's a mark of a saint. It just said she was sick a lot, just like a normal person. And it really brings to life the humanity of Saint Bernadette. But I'm not even going to talk about Saint Bernadette today, because everyone knows the story of Bernadette. She received a vision. No one believed her. Mary said, dig in the ground, you'll find a puddle, drink the water, and poof, Lourdes. Everyone knows the story. It's a very simple story. So what I want to talk about today is after the fact. Bernadette, the later years. I don't know. I'm not calling the episode that. I'm calling the episode whatever I have now named it because you have the title, but I haven't thought of it yet. No, but seriously, Saint Bernadette. We're going to talk about what is her later years, what actually happened after Lourdes. You ready? All right, let's get to this. So what happened to Saint Bernadette? Well, she really was disliking all the attention she was getting at Lourdes because she was that miracle girl, that girl that Mary appeared to. And a lot of people were asking her, oh my gosh, pray for me, yada, yada, yada. Can you pray over me? A little bit weird. So she decided to go to a school run by the Sisters of Charity of Nevers in France. And that's where she actually finally learned to read and write, which is kind of interesting. She never knew how to read and write. And she considered joining the Carmelites for a good amount of time, but her health wouldn't allow her to enter any strict contemplative orders like the Carmelites. In 1866, however, she did join the Sisters of Charity at Nevers, the same place that she was going to school. Now, the Mother Superior at the time, Mother Marie-Thérèse Vazou, gave her the name Marie Bernard in honor of her godmother. Kind of cool. Now, Bernadette spent the entire of her life there, in the convent. She worked as an assistant in the infirmary. She worked as a sacristan. She just, she did the everyday chores. And when people asked her about the miracles, her response was, the Virgin used me as a broom to remove the dust, and when the work is done, the broom is put behind the door again. It's a very humble answer, but St. Bernard understood she had been used by Mary for the express purpose. Now that the express purpose was over, there's nothing left for her to do. She had to live her life as a holy person. That was it. There's nothing special about her, in her mind. In her mind, she wasn't anything special. She was merely a broom used, a tool that the Blessed Virgin had deemed useful to do whatever she needed done. Now, St. Bernadette continually got sick and sick and sick over and over again in the convent. One of her biggest illnesses later in life when she was in the convent was tuberculosis. However, she completely refused to visit Lourdes to search for a cure. She was done. She knew that her mission in life was done. And you might think that that's kind of sad. Why doesn't she go to the place that she helped Mary find? She helped Mary bring it to the world. Why shouldn't she go search for a cure? She knew that her life was done. The purpose of her life was to bring others to Mary and to have Mary bring them to Christ through the water. And now she knew her life had no more meaning left. Not that it was like her life had no meaning, like a suicidal way, but it was more of a, God has used me. I'm good with that. I'm not going to say I'm special in any way. She didn't even want to go visit the place. I mean, seriously, how bad is it that she was... Now, here's the question, and neither the book nor anyone has ever been able to confirm. Was she scared? Is that why she didn't want to go back? Was she scared that people would just start, oh my gosh, St. Bernadette? She could have gone there under disguise. I think she didn't want to go back because she knew that it was over. She had done what her purpose was. And again, this isn't like a suicidal thoughts in St. Bernadette, but it's more of like, I'm good. I don't need to search for a miracle. God's will be done. That's what it is. God's will be done. Now, that tuberculosis did lead to her death in April 16th, 1879, when she was just 35. Her last words were, "Blessed Mary, Mother of God, pray for me, a poor sinner, a poor sinner." Now, most of St. Bernadette is actually incorrupt, which means that none of her body has been decomposed. Her body currently resides in Nevers, where she died, and where she was a member of the convent there. And I did not know this, but in 2015, the people of Lourdes requested that her body be brought to Lourdes, and Nevers said no, she's staying here. But yeah, that's what happened to St. Bernadette after. Isn't that interesting, though? That's what I'm talking about. It's really interesting because St. Bernadette, after she died, she just went away. God's will be done. Isn't that great? That's so cool. Guys, thank you for watching this episode about St. Bernadette. You never really knew that about St. Bernadette, did you? No, you didn't. I knew it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell your friends. If you have something you want me to talk about, tell me in the various social media ways, Twitter, comments, and email. Again, tell your friends. It's a cool show. You learn stuff like St. Bernadette. Go St. Bernadette. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as it was in the beginning, is now, and never shall be, rise up and live.